We got a double rainbow forming here, and here's one rainbow behind me. They're essentially inverted. We got a rainbow going here, or what I call the river on Twitter. This is Bitcoin price. And then on Tether dominance, right behind us, boom, boom, we got the rainbow going down. And it's going below an origin line here. So when Tether dominance goes down, Bitcoin goes up. There is a strong support and a higher low watch just under Tether dominance. So it could just be a short rally on Bitcoin. It's kind of what this is implying, but it looks like the rally, a small mini rally on Bitcoin is about ready to start. It could go sideways for a little longer, but let's go take a look at this double inverted rainbow and let's get some crypto. All right, because I think my channel has the most beautiful charts on all of YouTube. That's why you hit the like button, even if you're a returning viewer, and you hit subscribe if you're new. For the most beautiful charts in all of crypto that you're going to see. This is Tether dominance. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. Take a look historically. The origin line under which it just fell is essentially the middle line, the middle zone. It hit roughly a top zone, bounced off of this red area, came up, and is getting essentially a failure pattern. So a failure pattern, if price is down here, and this line at the bottom is going to be resistance. A failure pattern is essentially you go just above the resistance, and then you can't use it as support on the way down. And that's what it did on this yellow line here. So let's zoom into this area here. I'm going to zoom way in. I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart on Tether dominance. And you can see it got above the origin line. Couldn't use it as true support. It technically, here, let's zoom way in there. It couldn't use it as true support, which this increases the chance on its next rally up that it will make a lower high because it didn't. So this is like perfect support, right? But because it did this, that means the next one has the next move up has a chance to be a stronger chance to be a lower high, which it was. And now that it failed it, you typically, before you go down, so this is Tether dominance. If Tether dominance goes down, Bitcoin rallies up, right? And so it's just really, I mean, look at this. This is perfect. Perfect rejection. And then you have these EMA crosses down. So essentially my rainbows on the 5-minute, this essentially means the 4-hour, 10 and 21 EMAs are doing a bearish cross. And a lot of times that is powerful enough to get a move. If you get bearish crosses on the 15-minute, I mean, usually that's not quite powerful enough. 15-minute bullish crosses in a bull market can really make price spike. People play that crap all the time. But so if I go to the 4-hour chart here, go to normal EMAs, that should be crossing down. Red and yellow should be crossing. Usually my 5-minute long ribbons, yeah, right there, bam. See that? This usually gets it. So let's take a look historically. Let's take off price. Let's just look at all these crosses and see how they play out. See if they got a good hit rate. Okay, look at red going below yellow. Did this one work? Yeah, so Bitcoin went up during this whole time. Did this one work? Yeah, Bitcoin went up. Did this one work? Yeah, Bitcoin went up. Did this one work? Yeah, Bitcoin went up. Did this one work? Yeah, it kind of went sideways for a while, but eventually it worked. So as of now, like going back to June 2022, it's a perfect hit rate. So what do you think is going to happen this time? It could, these EMAs could swing down and make a higher low, which is kind of what I'm thinking, that Bitcoin's going to go down. I think it's trying to level out here, but it needs to make it, so even these EMAs, like together, they need to make a higher low. And then Bitcoin and crypto could probably get its ass kicked. So that's why I keep stressing during this move down, which means crypto will go up. Like if this swoops down and makes a higher low, this descent, this mini rally on crypto is going to be your chance to tether up. Like a really great chance. So don't be getting caught up in $1, altcoin with a lot of, I don't want to say any names, but just come on. Like this is your chance to do something really spectacular with your portfolio. Like really, really spectacular. And let's go back to Bitcoin. Might help if we put on price. And what we're trying to get here is essentially out of this black triangle. So all these are your resistance levels. So on this mini rally, these are the levels that it could stop and most likely will stop. And once again, TradingView gets rid of my rotated frickin' rectangle. I don't know why it always does this. I even have the darn thing locked. Let me piss with this for a second here. Let's see here. Channel. Where's my channel? There it is. So I'm going to use the rotated rectangle. Well, I might have to redo it. Now I can't expand it. One sec. This chart doesn't look right, and I can't show you these levels without it. I don't know why TradingView doesn't like keeping rotated rectangles on my chart, but all right, here we go. Something like this. Here's the point of control, roughly. That doesn't look right. Come on. Damn, TradingView slowing me down. Close enough. All right. Now I need to, so if you want to learn how to use the object tree, I'm going to open up the folder of my channel. See how my channel disappears? I'm going to open it up, drag this bad boy down there, collapse it, lock it, which means now I can't move anything. When I click it, I can't delete it, nothing. So I don't know why TradingView keeps getting rid of my rotated rectangle. Anyway, on this rally up, which is going to coincide with the Tether dominance making that higher low, Bitcoin is going to stop somewhere here as Tether dominance tries to make a higher low. They're going to move opposite of each other. But what's interesting about this is that Bitcoin dominance is staying pretty low, which indicates Ethereum and alts are probably going to outperform Bitcoin on this rally yet again. And I've been covering that. And I let viewers know on my non-live videos, take a look as this rally goes. Make sure you're paying attention to what Bitcoin dominance, because two things could happen. A, Bitcoin dominance could stay low, making a base, which is what it's doing. Or B, it's going to head up to 42%, something like that. I'll just show you. Pull this bad boy up. Yeah, alts are going to rally here. Like this is, let me go to the 8-hour chart. Yeah, 8-hour chart on Bitcoin dominance is about perfect. So it's Bitcoin dominance is hanging out down here during this at this support zone, which isn't horrible for Bitcoin. It just means there's a lot of money flowing into alts. So a lot of the Tether dominance going down means Tether is being converted to crypto. It's being used by crypto. And as Tether is being used by crypto, most of it's going into altcoins. So that means if you go back, and as opposed to if Bitcoin were heading up to this 42 area here during this move up, that means Bitcoin probably would have hit one of the higher targets on the chart. And I'll go back to that chart. It means had that been happening, Bitcoin would likely hit one of the higher targets, and Ethereum and Atom and all the stuff that's, doing pretty well right now in general over the last month. They wouldn't have gone up as much as Bitcoin, but let me get myself small. Because that is happening, I would suspect that Bitcoin does not hit this top target up here. And if it does, as Bitcoin's hanging down there, that means Ethereum's really going to take off. It will go above 1730. If two things happen, and this, again, listen to what I'm saying. If Bitcoin can both get all the way up to this top resistance point during this mini rally, what I suspect to be a mini rally. So it's if thing one. So if Bitcoin gets here, and if Bitcoin dominance stays low where it is, that means Ethereum is going to do some heavy work. Like Ethereum will probably get closer to 1800 or something, like maybe 17.8. We'll go to the Ethereum chart and actually just check it out. That means Ethereum and alts are really going to fly up. This is a messy ass chart. Damn it, I didn't really prepare this. That means Ethereum could get all the way. Yeah, here, right here. So where's my tag? It would get to this horizontal here, or it would get all the way up to the origin line. So under those two conditions, if Bitcoin hits that top target and Bitcoin dominance stays low, Ethereum will rally up between these two boxes, between 1840 and 1790 roughly. But I don't think those two conditions will coexist, but it could happen. So I want you to be prepared for it. Like that's the most extreme case of this final, what I think is going to be the final moment of this bear market rally, the first big lower high before it then really starts going down. That's the most bullish thing that I could see happening. Bitcoin hits the top target, and alts are overperforming Bitcoin, which means Tether dominance really hits a low point because a lot of money's flowing into alts and some Bitcoin. And alts could really scream up if that happens. So make sure you're paying attention to where Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin dominance is doing during this rally, in addition to paying attention to the S&P 500. Which could come up shy of its daily 89. It looks like it's going to come up shy. So it is, I look back in history on this chart, and let's say there are like 12 instances of a bear market rally coming above and then hitting this and then doing something on it again. But because a lot of bear market rallies, they just come up to hit its head and then they go straight down. They use this as a rejection point, right? But a lot of times when it goes above it, like it did this time, when it comes back down to use it as support and rallies up one more time, out of those 12 instances where the stock market got above the daily 89 in a bear market rally as opposed to using as resistance, roughly 12 of those instances, I think there were like 3 or 4 where during this drawdown to bounce on the daily 89, it actually came up shy. And some of them, they wicked past it. So it is totally possible that this is it. And then tomorrow, I mean, tomorrow could be a really big green day for crypto if it comes up shy. So keep an eye on this, because so what I would look for on S&P 500 are just two simple things. First off, this weekly horizontal at roughly 4167. And the ticker I like using is just straight up this. This is a great chart. I really like this chart. It doesn't show you the gaps because there are no gaps on this chart. Like, it's just a live running chart of after hours and whatever. But anyway, so if this gets above 4167 and 4167 is used as support, then Bitcoin's really, and crypto's really going to take a leg up. But also keep an eye on this, because before this is hit, as it's hit, it could use it as rejection, then hit the daily 89, then charge up, and then want to get some work done. So you just imagine this on the S&P 500, this line and the daily 89, there could be some ping pong. But until this area here, 4167, which is a weekly horizontal, until that's used as specifically support. So a failure pattern doesn't count. If it's up here, that doesn't matter. It could just come straight down and bounce one more time. You have to see it go above, use it as support, and then start legging up again. And that's when you know Bitcoin and crypto are getting ready to really take a ride up. Because Bitcoin's held really strong from about this moment on. Bitcoin hasn't gone down. It's been going sideways as the stock market has gone down. And that hasn't been happening. For the last several months, Bitcoin has been going down as the stock market either goes up or sideways. Which means Bitcoin's been weaker than the stock market, but the last 3 or 4 days, Bitcoin's been stronger. So when this chart behind me is ready to go up, Bitcoin's already been stronger than it. So when this decides to go up, Bitcoin's move can be pretty big. And so going back to the Bitcoin chart, that is evidence that it is possible that most bullish case does happen. It's possible where Bitcoin dominance stays low, most Tether money and stable positions flow into altcoins, and Bitcoin gets all the way up here, it is possible. Which means this would be like Ethereum and altcoin led rally, and it could be a pretty massive one. Like altcoins from current price, except the ones that have already flown up, but just the average altcoin from like today during this rally could go up 20 to like 40%. It could be pretty big, but Bitcoin would be more like 10% for Bitcoin, but it would be drastically higher for altcoins because most money is flowing into altcoins because we just identified that on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Does that make sense? And so that is one piece of evidence that this higher target could be hit because Bitcoin has stayed so strong as the S&P is still falling. And so make sure you have these targets on your chart because this is roughly what could happen. I mean, Bitcoin could just go like this and peter out and go sideways as altcoins fly, and then Bitcoin stays in the black triangle. Then it all comes crashing down. That's possible too. It is possible. I don't know how high it's going to go, but it's likely going to be one of these 4 areas during this rally. And the rally could last between 7 to 20, maybe 18 more days or so. I think it'll be a little less than 3 weeks from today. And let's see, what else are we looking at on Bitcoin? I think we have another thing aligning with potentially the rally only last 7 days or a week is this monthly closure, or 7 to 10 days. So this monthly closure closes in 8 days. And a lot of times you have a little wiggle room until the next candle. But if the next candle, as it opens, it might open green and then flip red on day 3 and then really start accelerating to the downside. So let me go to a different, cleaner chart on Bitcoin and throw on some normal EMAs so we can see what's happening here. Get rid of this box, put on some EMAs. All right, so this could be just a straight up nasty monthly rejection under the monthly 55. This is pretty nasty. Like, this is really nasty. Whew. So this month, could close up a little higher because Bitcoin rallies a little bit. The next month starts green, test this line here up as high as 23.2. So keep this. Hopefully my other chart says 23, roughly 23.2. That is a big target. Within the next 10 days, 23.2 is huge. So hopefully my other chart said we'll go. I'm going to mentally note that. Because so if this month closes right, just a little higher than where it is now, next month, the first few days want to come up and then it'll probably hit its head and then really start flying down. So that would mean the rally could be about 2 to 3 more weeks. Actually, it could be 3 more weeks. So 23.2, hopefully I have that on my other chart. Let's look. That's a massive monthly level. Boom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Good. That actually could be, that might be my favorite target now. Fucking A. Huh. This could be a big altcoin rally. That means some altcoins are going to make higher local highs. It won't be a lower high in some of these. Probably not Ethereum. Ethereum could do a double top maybe, but I bet Ethereum would make a lower high. But stuff like Atom, it's gonna make a higher local high. Wow. Yeah, so make sure you have 23.2 on your radar for the next 2 weeks. And just mentally note, altcoins can really do some dirty work. So if you're trying to short into this, altcoins could really smoke you. If you're trying to short too early, this could be a pretty hot run, essentially a last hoorah, where because traditional finance is getting into the large cap alts. I know what shapes traditional finance algos make on Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're starting to make it on stuff like so Algorand's not getting any love. There's more investor big money. Like the big money's more into that from an investor standpoint. They're not really trading it. So they're not touching Solana either. Big money algos are not touching. Big money is touching Curve, is one. Matic, Atom. There are a few others. I'm not going to be able to name them all. But But of those, there are several others. You could really get smoked. So during this rally, it might be unwise to try to hurry into short positions for altcoins. You could get really hurt because they could go 40%, 50% up as Bitcoin goes 10% here. This could be a really big altcoin hoorah. And but anyway, what big money might want to do in this rally here is take advantage of getting retail excited, and they're going to drive price into where they're going to have shorts because that big money has those coins on spot. So they allow things to run up and perhaps persuade price with market buys on spot to run up to the shorts, and they start bam. And on the way up, their algos will create enough sell pressure to have the pace exactly all the same, right? So they all hit the target roughly on the same day before they're going to sell on spot on everything. Like this could be a massive, like a pretty planned bull trap because this altcoin market's going to be so hot. So be really prepared. And when that happens, where you think you're going to short, it typically doesn't work out because it's not retail driven. It's actually goes, essentially it breaks traditional. It's a trap for people who trade off of traditional signals based off of retail driven price action, right? So it's going to be really difficult. So just don't try to be a hero shorting into this rally, but don't hesitate to be a hero from a spot trade standpoint and just crypto portfolio. Do not hesitate to be a hero holding Tether. Whenever I say, let me be clear, whenever I say Tether up or mention Tether, that just means stable, holding into euros or US dollars or whatever stablecoin, USDC, whatever you're into, that's fine. That's specifically what I'm meaning when I say tether up. Tether up just means stable position. But I have my audience has more, has a decent amount of newer people. So the terminology stable might not ring a bell. That means you need to be selling. I'm suggesting selling into the rally, essentially for protecting your portfolio. So that might not click. So I like to say tether up, which usually for everybody that makes a light bulb. But I'm not necessarily suggesting specifically Tether because I don't want to be, there were some big YouTubers talking about Luna all the time and it kind of hurt the brand when it went down. So I don't want to be somebody saying Tether, and then Tether collapses and then Cosasverdes, you suck. Okay, I want to be very careful. When I tether up for me, and I need to be more careful, tether up / get into stable positions during this rally. But again, this rally could be really, really hot. And if you're trading on spot, and you sell into the rally and the altcoin that you're selling goes higher, honestly, when you're tethering up, don't worry about selling the top. That's the last thing. If you're shorting on futures, well, then shorting near the top of a lower high, I would suggest never try to short the top because you're going to get screwed. But you need to finesse things at, the top. But on spot trade, selling into a rally, don't worry about the exact points. If it goes 20% higher than where you sold your last of your bag, honestly, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because worst case, there's going to be a higher low, even if crypto is going to be in a bull market, which it's not, most likely. It's under a 3% chance, I would say. But even if that 3% chance came true and you sold way too early, you're going to have a higher low and you're going to be able to buy back roughly where you had sold too early. And that's worst case. You just get all your crypto back, roughly, in theory, right? And if you sell too early in a bull market, that's a little different. It's possible it never comes back down. But in this market, on spot trade, as I'm suggesting getting stable positions, the last thing you want to concentrate on is selling at the top. Honestly, selling too early is just fine because you're going to be in tether faster. So that's what we got for Bitcoin and overall crypto and what I'm looking at.